Hello, today I want to sow some poppy seeds. So I have this seed head that I harvested last summer. It's dried, it's basically just been it's basically just been sitting on a shelf for the whole winter. And I figured now I'm about to start sowing my poppy seeds, I should see what the harvest is in here. Thankfully it's been like fully sealed, so nothing has really spilled out, but I did wanna, I don't know, just see what's inside. This is a seed head from a black peony poppy. So big, dark, purple, like mauve blooms, very gorgeous. Like it's called peony poppies because it kind of looks like a peony. It's like got so many, it's like this big, lots of petals kind of bloom. So very pretty. It blooms late summer for me. And yeah, they did really well in a kind of shady spot in my garden, which is really nice. I never know what to put in that area. So I definitely want to be growing more of these. They make for great cut flowers. I mean, poppies in general don't have the longest face life, but they are very impactful. And when it comes to impactful flowers that grow well in Alaska, it's pretty difficult to get a lot of them. So poppies is, I think, a great option here. Now, hopefully some of them also just reseeded itself in my garden. We get kind of like wild little poppies growing, reseeding itself in the garden, but that's the only thing that has happened. I've also grown Iceland poppies in the same area and they never reseed itself. That area is right by our house. Like the flower bed is pressed up against the house and it's underneath the window to downstairs in the window from the bedroom. It's a very sandy flower bed, and that's because we don't want a lot of moisture being up near against the house. But it also makes it a little bit more difficult, at least for me, to know when I should be watering plants, how I can allow plants to do well there. Anyways, now I'm trying to figure out how do I open this up. There's so many, so I just tilted it out a little bit and this much came out. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's that's crazy how many seeds I'm getting out of this, just like one seed head, one flower bloom. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this many, honestly. And I'm kind of kicking myself because I don't have a container or a bag ready for them to go in. Let me just grab a Ziploc bag. Okay, I feel like maybe Ziploc is not the best bag to keep it in because you don't want to store, if you're storing them for a long time, you don't want to store them in a place that it like gets a lot of light that can damage the seeds. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, put this underneath something or put it somewhere dark. You know, my seed organizing box, I'll just keep that in somewhere dark and I'll put this in there. Let's see, any more? No, that's pretty much it. One more seedling. One more seed in there. Yay, that's awesome. Okay, that's awesome. I'm so glad that I got that. I was definitely not expecting this amount. So I am not even gonna plant all of this. I have these boxes I mentioned in the last video that I wanted to start sowing, like kind of winter sowing my poppies in these. I say kind of because they're going in the hoop house, which stays a lot warmer, and oh my gosh, tomorrow it's gonna be like a high of 36 during the day. That might not sound like a lot to you, but like the whole week it's a little over freezing during the day, which is I don't know, it just like makes me feel really happy and excited because the season is, I mean, not starting, I can't say that, but like, I don't know, it's happening. Things are changing. Okay, sorry, I just got interrupted by a package. So I think it's some extra seeds that I ordered from Johnny's Seeds and a bunch of terracotta pots that I ordered that I want to start painting to sell at the farmer's market, or maybe to just like house some of my houseplants in there. And a lot of herbs. I want to start keeping like a bunch of herbs indoors, so having some cute little pots to keep them in, that would be nice. Anyways, back to seed starting. I actually think I am going to swap some of this out because I feel like it's way too much coco coir. Okay, I just added some more of this like sunshine mix I have in that bill behind me. Normally I get the BX Pro Mix, and that's what I store most of my seeds in, and I mix some coco coir into that too sometimes. But this is all that was available at the stores this time of year in Alaska. It's just hard to find anything. So a lot of people, the way that a lot of people start poppies is by just sprinkling the seeds down before winter even hits. So they'll sprinkle the seeds like just over the surface of whatever area they're wanting the poppies to grow in. They'll do that in like fall and try not to let it get covered with much soil because they need light to germinate and they need that cold stratification period. So they'll feel that winter, and then when the snow melts from on top of them, or you know, if that area even gets snow, when it gets a little bit warmer, then they start to germinate. And when it gets wet, and that's why poppies can self-seed very easily, because that's just kind of the process of how it can germinate. I don't trust that my seeds will really stay there, or we get a ton of snow, so things are, I don't know, things can easily like move around. All that snow when it melts and when it breaks up, I don't know. And our winters are so long. I mean, I guess I should try it, but I just feel like the seeds won't last this whole winter. And maybe I'm super wrong about that, but I like to do it this way. And this way also I can get them to start like germinating before all that snow melts from the ground. So I'll have like the flowers quicker. Anyways, so how I do it is I just pat a bunch of potting mix in these containers. This is how I've done it for a couple of years and it's worked well. Poppies don't really like to be transplanted, but they're okay. They'll survive it. Most of them will. And then basically just sprinkle the seeds on top. Let me first label this. So, okay, I think how I'm gonna label it is I'm just gonna write it across the side here. Here's the seed that I bought like last year. And this is what black peony poppies look like, kind of. Honestly, the photo doesn't really do it justice because they're so gorgeous in real life. So, yeah. Black peony poppies. I might write it across the lid as well, but yeah. I mean, and these aren't really getting winter sown. They're not going to be out in the elements. They might get like still wet in the hoop house, but I don't think enough to wear this off and in the time frame that I need to see like what they are before I get them transplanted. So I want to use my own seeds. It's probably better to use like the older seeds because, you know, seeds have a shelf life. They're not going to last for that long. But honestly, I grow old seeds all the time and they work just fine. But I really love the idea of like, I don't know, having my own seeds germinate. I'm actually, before I do that, I'm going to wet this mix a little bit more. Okay, I just added more mix to it as well because in my experience, poppies, the seedlings, I am going to forget about them for a little while. So I'm sowing them now. They're going to start germinating. But then I'm gonna have like so many other seedlings to take care of and to worry about and to start hardening off and, you know, getting ready to take to the farmer's market, that these seedlings, the poppy seedlings, I think are gonna just like stay in this container for a little bit while. So there are no drainage holes in here. I'm pretty sure there's not. Some of my containers I put, like pop some holes into, but there are none in here, and I will just have to make sure I'm not overwatering these, and I really won't water them anymore after I get these seeds sown for a long time, until I see, like, you know, seedlings starting to emerge, until I see, and it's nice that this container is kind of clear, until I feel that some of the mix is getting dry. Just gonna grab like some handfuls of these seedlings and just sprinkle them on top. I'm not sure what the germination rate is gonna be, again, because these are my own seedlings. Usually when you buy seeds, they'll have like a percentage number on the seed packet, and that typically means the germination rate of these seeds. So if it says 98%, if you plant 100 seeds, 98 of them are likely to germinate. So because I have a lot of seeds, I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna do a lot. Okay, I felt like that was so many seeds, and it's not even half of it. Half of what I harvested. That was probably way too many seeds. Oh, now yeah, whatever. I can always harvest from the peony heads that that start to bloom in my garden again this year. So next, this is just the box that I stored my ranunculus and anemone corms in, and it's just full of vermiculite, so I'm using this. You just sprinkle some vermiculite on top. Again, I went over this. I had a recent video that's how to germinate cut flower seeds. I talk about how to surface sow the seeds that need light for germination. Poppies are one of those seeds that need light. So the vermiculite just helps to keep the seeds in place and helps to retain moisture on the surface where the seedlings need it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the lid on this. The lid also helps to keep that moisture, and also helps to keep it warm when you're winter sowing if you're putting it in a cold space. I do think I'm gonna put this out in my hoop house. I was thinking I might keep them in the garage where I just got some lights going because it stays a lot colder in there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think about spacing. I'm already running out of space in my office. So I'll take these out into the hoop house either today or tomorrow morning. And I have I'm just gonna get some of my other poppies going as well. Let me just show you what varieties I have. So I have Amazing Gray. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of seeds. I don't know why I didn't think to order more. I just saw that I still had this packet and knew that there were some in here, but there's very little. So yeah, unfortunately, I won't be getting a lot of these. I'm hoping some reseeded itself in the garden. And I really am kicking myself now that I didn't harvest a bloom, because we had so many blooms. I didn't harvest a seed head. I know this is not an Amazing Gray poppy seed head. I know it's a black peony poppy seed head because they were a lot bigger. The Amazing Gray ones, the seed heads were a lot smaller. And yeah, I wish I harvested them, because Amazing Gray poppies, like, they are amazing. They are like amazingly beautiful, and I really loved the way they looked in my garden. I also have champagne bubbles. These are Iceland poppies, or it says they're hybrid poppies, but I've always known them to be Iceland poppies. I don't know if that's what Iceland poppies are. But I'll get these sowed in much the same way, and when I'm done, maybe I'll take you along with me to where I'm going to be keeping them for, you know, the foreseeable future until they start to germinate. I can also get the camera to focus on it. I think I've got to get my face away.